Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Harika. So in previous video, we have seen how to load taxonomy and what are the different steps that we have to follow in order to extract the information from any document, right? So as a part of this video, I'm going to show how we can extract especially tabular information from this document. So here I'm choosing PDF document. So both of the documents that I'm choosing here are PDF. So these are the ones which I've created myself for this test run. Just some random data I've picked up and I have made in the form of a table. So this is one table and this is the second invoice that which I have created. So I am the format of both the files is same. Both are of same structured. So I am going to show you how we can extract the information from the table, and along with that we can also see how we can extract information from fields just like this. So let me just show you. So by this time, I think you're familiar by how we can load the taxonomy. So I would show how we can load taxonomy for this. So I wanted to create a new group as we have unstructured one, but this is a structured data. So I wanted to create a new group under a new category. Let's suppose this is a PDF document, and I wanted to add a new document type to this, which is invoice, invoice type. And I will add new fields to this. So for example, here, let's go to this. Okay. So I would extract the date as the first field, and which is of the type date. I don't wanted to give any format here. Just I wanted to leave it like that. And the second one would be invoice number of the type text, because I assume that it has alphabets also. And the third one is the customer ID, which is of text again. And now I wanted to extract the tabular information. Let's suppose I would name them as line items, and that's of type table. So I am going to give the column names, description as text, and the second column is I have quantity, which is number, and the next one is unit price, which is number, and later I have line total. So these are the columns that I'm having here. So I'm going to save this table and save this. I'm going to close this. So if you just observe in this taxonomy, we have two different files, which is, let me just open this here. So one is billing information, which is unstructured data, which we have seen in the previous video, and the other one is PDF document, and it is a structured data. So we have two different documents under different groups and categories. So let's see how we can extract the information from this. So first of all, I'm wanted to change the path to this PDF folder where I have all the files. So I'm going to take an assign activity. So to this assign activity, I wanted to get the files from PDF folder. So let me just show you here, which will be clear. So in this PDF folder, if you just observe, okay. So this is the PDF folder. I wanted to copy the name of this folder. So this PDF folder is having all the PDF files. So I would say, and I wanted to convert this to the list. Let's suppose I wanted to name this as, I have all the documents in the list, right? So I will name this as a docu list, and let's change this to system.collections.generic. Under this you will have list. So let's make it as a string. So now we are good with all the files into a list. So now we wanted to iterate for each file in this list, right? So I'm going to take for each. So let's suppose I have already defined all these document path as docupath here. So what I would do is I am taking list here, and this path I'm taking here, so that I don't have to change throughout. Let's change this to string. So we've seen this, how we can write the text file in the previous example. So I'll just move everything into this for each loop, because all the steps would be the same except few. So I'm passing this docupath, which is I'm taking from the list for each file in the list. I'm considering that as a docupath, and I'm passing it as the path, and which will convert that into a text and the DOM. And those, I'm based on that, I have to classify it here. But before you classify it, I wanted to configure, I wanted to check this invoice type checkbox also, and I have to manage the learning. So here I wanted to give the keywords which are defined for this particular document. So for this I wanted to give the name of this particular, whatever we can pick it as a reference or keywords for this. So I will say invoice number, sorry. So I would say invoice number and sample invoice. So this would be something which are unique for this. You can add whatever you find them as keywords. Based on that, there is a probability that it will be picked. So unit price, you can take the combination of two words also. You can give it here, and you can give line total like this, and you can save it. So now we have given the keywords based on which our document will be classified. So if you just observe, previously in previous example we have loaded only one document, and there is no need to classify actually, because there is only one document, so it will be picking from that only. But here we have two different, right? We have loaded two different taxonomies. So based on the keywords that we are training here, it will be classified. So once after we classify it, we have to extract the information. So this part, just pull it inside the loop. So here everything remains the same, but I'm going to just remove this document type ID, and here I'll be giving the results that are coming from the classified results of 0, because this is a multi-dimensional. And here I wanted to extract. Again, you have to configure invoice type also. So whatever the fields that you wanted to extract, you wanted to check this and save, and you have to manage the templates. So here we have the template for the billing information, which is the previous document type. But now we have the invoice PDF. So that for that also we have to create a new template. So if you just observe, once after we check it there in the extractors, it would display the invoice type. And I would say invoice template. Let's select one document and OCR, omni-page OCR, and I'm configuring it. So now here comes the difference. So now I have to identify the fields which are corresponding to this page. So it minimum 5 we can identify which are unique to this page, and then I'm done with this. So next we have to go and customize the area for date. So I would do for this in custom area, I'm adding it for invoice number, just like the ones which we've done in the previous video. Custom ID, customer ID, and then add this. And now we have a table here. So there's a way that we can select this table. So I would show you. I am saying highlight table. So if you just observe here, we have got this table, right? So here we can extract the information from this table. All you just have to do is click on extract new table, and you can get the, just scrape this information just like this. How much, till how much ever you consider that as a table, you have to just scrape it. So if you just observe whatever the column names that you have defined in the taxonomy, if you just see, you will get the name of that particular columns. So this comes under description, this is quantity, this is unit price, this is line total. So this is how easily we can extract the information from a table. And now you can just save and close. At least one row is required. Okay, so it is showing we haven't selected the rows. So I'm just saving it, and then all these are saved. We can save and close this. So it shows 100%, and we can click on save. So that's how we can load a table. And after which, by this time we are good with extracting the information, and then now we are going for the present validation station. So there is no much difference that is involved here. So I'm just pulling this inside, and we are exporting the results into the data set. And just deleting this because so we don't need it here. And so now, if you just observe, there's something that you have to understand here with respect to data sets. So data sets usually contains formatted and unformatted data. So it usually gives both the information. So whenever we are selecting 0, it's unformatted. And whenever in the table 1, it contains, when we convert that into table, so it contains the first table as unformatted and formatted information. So now we need only one table that needs to be coming into our output. So first of all, I would show you how we can identify it. I would execute this in the debug mode, and I can show you. So first of all, we'll get the present validation station where we have to give the information validation here. So if you just observe, it shows 74% and December 6, 2020, which is correct. And I am validating all this information. So here we can check the table also. So which has extracted the data as how it is displayed here. So these are some random values which I've given. This is not any particular invoice. I found it in Google. I just made this template. I can also provide you this template in the description if you wanted to do some hands-on. And now here, if you just observe, we've got this data set, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check So if you just see, it is a collection where we have simple fields and simple fields formatted. So line items and line items formatted. So in this way, we have formatted and unformatted. So that's why we're going to take only whatever we need. So if we take both the field, both the tables, then we will get the duplicates. So that's why before to that, I will show the second table as well. So this is correct. I'm just validating them in this table. So if you see, these both are empty here. These both are empty. So this both should be empty in the output as well. And apart from that, I could see all other fields are correct. So I'm just saving this. This will contain only the 0th one. But we would need, so this contains only the 0th one. But what I'm going to do is, in order to store the data in a proper manner, so I would first, after I extract the information, I would first write this information into a temporary data, temporary Excel sheet, which is the first one. And the second table is also there, right? So I'm going to write, the second table will obviously be in, second table would be here. So as we have two rows, I would say let it start from A4. So both are having headers. So once after I read this temporary data table, I would read back from this. So here, in order to make it the output more precise, so I'm just doing some manipulations here. So once after I write back, so I'm reading this from this table, from this Excel, and writing this into a data table, which is temporary data table. And I'm going to merge it every time, so I don't miss any data. So before to this, let's build one data table in the beginning. So let's have an empty data table. I would say final data table. So I wanted to merge this both into final data table. So after which I will clear this data table. This is some normal Excel data table operation, so you don't have to worry much about it. It can be done in any way which you feel feasible for you. But in order to have the whole data in a single data table, I'm doing all these operations. So after everything is done, I'm going to write into my, which is final dt, into my final out dot xlsx. Let's not give any range here. So let me just execute this and see how it works. So I believe this way is feasible for extracting the information from the table, especially. You can even skip validation station, but it's preferably good to go with this, at least for the initial, before we train the bot. So there are many other ways that we can train the bot and make it more, like we can customize the bot instead of coming for the validation for every document. We can make it if it crosses, if it's below certain confidence score also. That way we can avoid multiple validations. So let's check this output. Okay, so we got only dates. Let me just see. Okay, let's do this in a debug mode and we'll see what's going wrong. So I'm just validating all this. So after which I can check what is the output here that's coming out. So before to that, let me just go quickly and delete these files so that we don't get any overlappings. So here I wanted to check what is there in the data set. Oh, sorry. Of 0. So here we have this, which is the correct information. And let's check what is there in the 2 as well. Okay, we have the correct data. So we are reading it back from this Excel. Okay, so here we've given the wrong range. I believe that would be the problem because we are reading it from A1 to A2. So let's change this range. Now I would run it again. So yeah, we have got the information, and I believe I haven't included headers. Yeah. So if you include headers, so you can get headers as well as a part of this. So here we've got whatever the information that is there in the Excel, sorry, in the invoice, date, invoice number, customer ID, which is exactly the same, and description, quantity, unit price, line item, line total. So we've got all the information. So just include headers and everything would be the same as per the invoice that is shown here. So we have extracted the information from the table as well. So this is the table. So if you just observe in the second invoice, we don't have these two fields which are missing. So that are also very clearly it has taken. So that's how it works, guys. So that's how it is. We can extract the information from the invoice and the table. So we have seen how it works in case if we have multiple documents, how we can show it, like how we can loop it through by using the for each loop, and how we can get the information by using selecting the custom classified results. So this is how it is. So I hope you found this video useful, and in the coming videos we will see how we can extract, or if we have multiple documents, like instead of only PDF, if PNG is there, how we can extract the information from the documents. So thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel if you like the content.